The idea of reviving live music in Toronto, I'm speaking to one of my strengths. There's over 100 people running for mayor. Mr. Saunders, for example, is the chief of police. Obviously, he's going to know policing better than any of us. That's the truth. Let's call it like it is. But for me, if you want to be in a livable city, you have to have events. You have to have, people have to come together. People come together with music. So one of the things I'd like to do is revive live music. Now, how would I do that? Interesting. Well, there's been a proliferation of coffee culture in our city, and the coffee shops in the last 30 years have proliferated to a huge degree. We used to be a coffee house circuit back in the day. Some of the famous Canadian artists like Joni Mitchell, Gordon Lightfoot, different people came here and played these things, and then they got their legs as songwriters, performers, musicians, entertainers. So I would like to go to the coffee shops and provide some microloans for very small stages of small amounts, and basically have that, try to foster singer-songwriters, acoustic artists, even spoken word performance artists, poets, you name it. The next Leonard Cohen, the next Gordon Lightfoot, the next rapper could come through, and this doesn't have to be at prime time, even if it's the end of the day, a coffee shop in the last 2 hours. Get performers in there and actually get them so they can cut their chops somewhere, because the live circuit above the larger venues don't have the ability to take those risks. But I believe coffee shops have. So that would be one way. The second way would be to actually get involved with the international music scene. And when I say creating Nashville in Canada, Nashville North here in Toronto, I've seen what Nashville's done. It's made itself a music destination. I'd like to work in the community to create more bonds where there's a better network of suppliers, recording studios, and venues, and actually try to reach out personally to the people I know in the music industry around the world. I ran an amp company called Highwatt out of England. That's one of the founding amplifiers of the British Invasion sound at the foundation of rock and roll. And I'm not just about rock and roll. That amplifier was used for jazz musicians. It was used by blues musicians. All through the end of the day, I've come into contact with a lot of musicians. So what I'd like to do is try to promote larger concerts where possible. I'd like to bring back festivals. And these things would give Torontonians something to gather together and bring money into the city and create tourist events. Even with Caribana, and I used to play in a band that did Caribbean music. So also what happened to Caribana, I'd like to, even each festival within the context of its existence in Toronto, promote music within it, in each culture. You know, I'm a world music person. I've actually been to South America and Asia, and I've got into all kinds of world music. We need to get that going. And perhaps particular to those communities, they're the buildings of faith, and or the people they're running the restaurants in those communities, we could find stages for people or places where we could have events to promote that music. We could become a world version of Nashville here in Toronto, and it would bring people to our city. This is what makes life livable. It'd be a livable city, and it's what I can offer you. It's what I know.